Imagine a child born over 140,000 years ago, part modern human, part Neanderthal, vanishing into the dust of prehistory before anyone even knew it existed. Until now, new genetic breakthroughs have unearthed a dark, forgotten chapter of human evolution, a hybrid lineage lost to time, silenced by extinction, but still whispering through the DNA in our veins. This isn't a science fiction thriller. This is our real history. A ghostly genetic echo has returned, and it's challenging everything we thought we knew about who we are. To understand the shock of this discovery, we need to rewind about 300,000 years. Earth was colder, wilder, and packed with different kinds of humans. One group was the Neanderthals, sturdy Ice Age survivors who dominated Europe and parts of Asia. Think barrel-chested, big-brained, and probably more stylish with animal hides than we give them credit for. Then came us, Homo sapiens, arriving from Africa with sharper tools, more complex language, and perhaps a flirtatious side. Scientists once believed these two species kept their distance, like rival camps at an awkward family reunion. But the truth, they didn't just meet, they mingled. For decades, the out-of-Africa theory painted modern humans as a pure bloodline that steamrolled through every other hominin species. But recent evidence has shredded that tale. Our ancestors weren't lone survivors, they were mixers. Interbreeding didn't just happen, it may have shaped our very survival. In 2024, scientists scanned a child's skull buried for over 140,000 years in School Cave, Israel, and gasped. The face? Neanderthal. The brain case? Pure Homo sapiens. Was this the fossilized proof of a hybrid child, born of two worlds? Some researchers called it a game changer. Others said, let's not jump to conclusions. But even skeptics had to admit, this wasn't normal. The school child had features so blended, so uncanny, that it reignited a long-dormant question. Were our ancestors not just coexisting with Neanderthals, but reproducing? This wasn't the only clue. Across Europe and Asia, strange remains have hinted at this mixing for years, but they were brushed off as regional quirks or evolutionary leftovers. The school skull, however, shouted one thing loud and clear. These groups were not separate civilizations passing in the night. They were family. It's like finding out your ex from 50,000 years ago shows up on your ancestry DNA test. Surprise, you've got Neanderthal cousins. Let's dive into the genetic jungle. Scientists didn't just stumble upon one hybrid. They've uncovered multiple waves of interbreeding across thousands of years and continents. Using cutting-edge techniques like IBD-mix, identity by descent mapping, geneticists have tracked three major romantic events. One around 250,000 years ago, another about 120,000 years ago, and a third roughly 50,000 years ago. Call it the prehistoric dating app that never stopped swiping right. Each encounter left fingerprints, tiny bits of Neanderthal DNA woven into our modern genomes. If you're of European or Asian descent, about 2% of your DNA is Neanderthal. It's not just a novelty fact, it shapes your immune system, your skin's UV tolerance, even your sleep patterns. But here's where it gets eerie. On certain chromosomes, especially the X chromosome, Neanderthal DNA is conspicuously absent. It's like nature tried it, then said, nope, not gonna work. Scientists believe this may point to something big, like male hybrid infertility. In other words, the kids from Neanderthal dads and modern human mums may have been, well, biologically disappointing. It's not that love didn't bloom, it's that some of those unions may have been evolutionary dead ends. Now for the dark twist in this ancient love story, infertile hybrid males. Yep, just like mules born from horses and donkeys, some human Neanderthal male offspring may have been unable to reproduce. Scientists discovered that modern humans completely lack Neanderthal Y chromosomes. Not one scrap remains. It's like someone hit delete on that entire genetic line. Why? Geneticists think the Neanderthal Y chromosome had mutations that clashed with modern human genes. possibly causing immune system failure or complete sterility in male hybrids. That means, even if these boys survived childhood, they likely couldn't pass on their genes. Meanwhile, female hybrids were a different story. Fertile, functional, and quietly blending Neanderthal genes into the Homo sapiens gene pool. So, we inherited Neanderthal DNA, but only from our hybrid mums. This one-way gene flow may explain why Neanderthal culture and population vanished so fast. Every union with modern humans drained their numbers, one child at a time. Fertile daughters joined sapiens tribes. Infertile sons, they were cultural or genetic ghosts. It's a heartbreaking biological trap. Even if Neanderthals had love, family, and fire, they were unknowingly vanishing with each generation. By 40,000 years ago, their lights went out, but their genes whispered on. If all this still sounds like speculation, meet Denny. No, not your friendly neighbor, Denisova 11, a teenage girl who lived about 90,000 years ago in Siberia. Her bones were found in a remote cave, and her DNA blew the roof off evolutionary science. She wasn't just a Denisovan or a Neanderthal, she was both. Her mum was Neanderthal. Her dad? A Denisovan. This wasn't a fuzzy genetic hint. This was first-generation hybrid confirmation, right down to the chromosomes. Think about that. Two different ancient humans, separated by hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, met in the middle of nowhere and made a kid. Denny didn't just prove it was possible, she proved it happened. If Neanderthals could mix with Denisovans and Denisovans with modern humans, then the boundaries between species weren't brick walls. They were swinging doors. Denny was living proof that these humans weren't isolated. They were interconnected. And who knows how many more Dennys are waiting to be found? So why should we care if your 50,000-year-old ancestors were hooking up at cave parties? Because these revelations rewrite the story of human identity. We were taught Homo sapiens replaced Neanderthals because we were smarter, faster, more advanced. But the truth is far messier and more fascinating. We didn't replace Neanderthals, we absorbed them. Through biology, not brutality. Through bonding, not battles. Their genes still live inside us, regulating our immune responses, adapting us to colder climates, and possibly even shaping parts of our brain. The 2% Neanderthal DNA in you isn't just ancient baggage, it's evolutionary software, patched into the modern human system. And here's the kicker. This discovery forces science to confront its own biases. For decades, theories of human evolution favored purity, a single origin story, one superior branch of humanity. That view? It's dead. The truth is we're hybrids, mosaics of ancient encounters. Our species didn't rise from one spark in Africa, it ignited in many places, through many unions across continents and millennia. You're not just a Homo sapien, you're part Neanderthal, maybe part Denisovan, and 100% human. Let's come full circle. A genetic breakthrough has exposed a dark and vanishing lineage, an ancient hybrid child lost in time, buried in a cave, now resurrected through strands of DNA. It's not just a spooky scientific headline, it's a wake-up call to the real story of us. For centuries, we've clung to neat labels, species, purity, origin. But DNA doesn't care about our tidy categories. It's messy, tangled, and stubbornly honest. The child in school cave, the silent Y chromosome gaps, the ghost of Denny. They all scream one thing. We weren't alone, and we never were. These hybrid lineages didn't survive intact, but they didn't vanish entirely. They melted into us, into our genes, our resilience, our story. So when we say a secret vanished forever, we mean the memory of it, not the legacy. The genes are still here, marching quietly inside billions of us, hidden, blended, undeniable. A once forbidden truth has resurfaced. The ancient Neanderthal human hybrid was real, and its DNA has been hiding in plain sight all along. If you found this as mind-blowing as we did, hit that subscribe button. More ancient secrets are just a click away.